Yo, what's up, gang? How we doing today? I'm over here just enjoying the last couple of days of my summer break, just getting ready for what's right around the corner, this cold ass weather. I'm not ready for it. I'm just not. But aside from that, there's this topic I kind of want to talk about that came up after I watched some clips from the NoJumper and Joe Budden interview. So what happens is Joe Budden and his co-host basically kind of lobbed the accusation that Adam22 and his content profits off of the backs of colored and disenfranchised people. Now, this isn't a new or novel concept at all. People have been making this accusation of media, specifically like hip hop focused media, for the longest of times, basically as long as I can remember. Shit, you might have even heard this take before, even you might personally believe it. At this point, it's basically like a running gag to call media outlets like AK and Vlad and Say Cheese and all these guys the feds. And look, bro, like fuck it, they might be actually the feds, bro. I don't know.
You come up on us, man, you're not gonna make it. Niggas gonna blow your shit clean off, man.
But something I want to talk about is when Ice or Ish, I'm not sure who the fuck it is, but when this guy says this comment right here.
Okay. We sat down with an artist from the South. I'm not even gonna say his name. Folks who are familiar with him know who he's beefing with. He's been beefing with. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah. Not once did we ask him anything about that.
Nope. And
had an entire amazing interview. Had an amazing interview.
You got a cookie?
Cookies? Chicken wings.
Oh, it's a wing.
Did not ask him about that one time.
At all. We delved into who this kid is as a person, what he grew up and what he endured in growing up. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all care about what the people are gonna go to immediately.
I think this is a very good discussion to have. I think there are some great points being brought up here, and they really shine a light on what the actual core issue is here. I think I would agree with the point that Adam22 does make sensationalized content off of the backs of these artists. And to be fair, bro, he's pretty good at it. To be honest, if we're just being fair and honest here, some of these titles be some shit you read in the corner of your eye and you just gotta go see if this is in the same plane of reality as you. But I think it is also fair to say that Adam has built a brand basically off of interviewing these upcoming artists and asking them these questions that are sensationalized. And get ready, because I'm going to use that word a shit ton more. The Joe Budden guys talk about how they basically have the opposite approach to dealing with these kind of situations and artists. They try to avoid anything that might be seen as invoking these specific sensationalized topics of conversation. And yeah, I'll concede that's a pretty cool thing to do for the well-being of the artist. You're not trying to bring up any of their issues to light. This is a very favorable way of being charitable towards the artist. But I think it's a completely other different story when it's the artists that are going ahead and doing the shit. For example here, right? Take an artist like King Von, for example. He came out of a notorious and already famous gang, so it's almost natural for him to align himself further with his sensationalized image of the average gangster rapper. He talked about running the streets, killing his ops, typical shit. It was in almost every song because it basically became his brand at this point. Like people wanted to see him doing this shit. They wanted to hear him talk about it. And he's not the only one, but he was the dude that was basically on his path to becoming the top rapper in the game, so to speak. So he was a big cultural leader. I think there's something kind of funny, a little funny about how these rappers effectively become billboards for their gangs, and that ultimately makes it easier for these gangs to gain influence over the culture via music. But when somebody brings it up or asks these guys or question them about the content of the music, they're the people that are getting labeled as feds and instigators. It's a very interesting stance I see a lot of hip-hop outlets fall back on, and honestly, it's so hypocritical. What we're doing is we're allowing these artists to bask in all of the adoration and respect that you get from being a feared member in the streets, but due to respecting street code, nobody wants to talk about it, even though these guys are the one that are bringing attention to themselves first. And ultimately, that's what the fans like the most. That's what they're the most receptive of. There's a reason why people like the Baby, Lil Baby, Dirk, and Von were all at the top of the rap game. They're all very similar in that regard. In conclusion, I don't really think we learned shit, bro, to be honest. I don't think Joe and the gang's take were bad, but maybe a little slightly misguided because they couldn't see their own hypocrisy and how they're attributing to the problem. The issues now with pages like NoJumper, Vlad, or Academics, or whoever the fuck you want to name. The problem is that rap as a genre forces the artists to kind of sensationalize themselves and commodify themselves into a gangster image, whether it's true or not. Like, look at 6ix9ine, bro. And the thing is, if it is true, like if everything you're saying in your songs is true, then niggas just gotta stop answering questions. Fuck, bro, it's not that hard. Of course, other than to promote your music and whatever you got going on through the ventures, you know, whatever. We already got through that. I don't know, man. I think this is a very interesting topic. Definitely some food for thought, and I'm curious to know what you guys think about this personally. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.
I took some bricks from some people recently, right? Well, actually, I was selling somebody some crack.